a successful investor in today's real estate market, you need constant support. And you need somebody to be there to hold your hand every single step of the way. And, I've been doing this 16 years, and, people ask me today if I have mentors, if I have consultants, and the answer to that is yes, because the deals keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we want to make sure that we've got the proper support so that we always stay on track. And I'm sure some of you that have been out there investing have hit hurdles and hit roadblocks, and you have struggles. And this webinar series is to help you overcome those roadblocks and those struggles and those hurdles. So one of the things that I've done throughout my investing career, is I've wanted to make sure that every transaction that I've done, every transaction that I help my students do, that we have a way to do them safely. And over the 16 years of being a full-time real estate investor, I've come up with a set of laws. I call them the universal laws unleashed. They're the laws of investing. And when somebody executes all 48 laws, becoming financially free as a real estate investor will become automatic. Now, I have those laws on CD. This is not about selling you guys a CD tonight. And if you don't have one of those CDs already and you want to get one, you could get that at gregorydowning.com. I will have that information again for you at the end of the webinar. And I want to share with you one of the most important laws. I will never contract to buy a property unless I already have it sold, assigned, or a tenant to put in it. Now, you'll talk to a lot of real estate investors out there, a lot of real estate experts, so-called gurus, and they will tell you that when you find a great deal, you should do the deal. And I agree with them completely. And I'm sure, as you guys are listening to my voice, if you are a new real estate investor or you've been investing, it's very, very important to you that you understand how to invest safely. When I say I will never contract to buy a property unless I already have it sold, assigned, or a tenant to put in it, I really want you to think about that for a moment. I really want you guys to let that sink in, because if we follow this principle, if we follow this law, I know the end result of every transaction that I've ever done before I do the transaction. Now, when I teach my 3-day classes and we go over this law in our class, it's one of the last laws that I give at the end of the night on Friday, and I send my students home to think about this law and how could they actually apply that to their lives. And some of my students say this keeps them up at night, because to apply this law to your real life, there's a whole lot of work that has to be done here, guys. And one of the things that's very important to me as I teach my students to become real estate investors is I won't sugarcoat any of this for you guys. This business is a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. Now, there's big payoffs for that hard work. And, one of the things that I tell my students is that if this business were easy, everybody would be doing it. And in order to make this law a reality in your life, I will never contract to buy a property unless I already have it sold, assigned, or a tenant to put in it. There's a whole lot of work that has to be done here. There's a lot of databases that have to be created, foundational layers that have to be laid, and power teams of people that have to be created. And during this webinar series, which we will do every Tuesday night, we'll start at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Somebody was just kind enough to let me know that in different time zones it's different times. So we'll start every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. As we go through the webinar series, it is my goal that we learn how to build those databases of people. We learn how to create those power teams of people. We learn how to lay those foundational layers, because I will tell you guys, when you have a roadmap to follow, a specific plan in place, and you put all the pieces of this puzzle in place, 90 to 180 days from today, the deals will come find you. And over that next 90 to 180 days, you've got to be willing to put the work in to create the opportunities so the deals come find you. Now, in order to make this law a reality in your life, guys, I'm just going to tell you this business is all about database. And I mean database, database, database. And what you must learn how to do is you must learn how to create a database of buyers. You must learn how to create a database of sellers. You want to create a database of tenants. Now, when I say a database of tenants, notice I didn't just say renter. When I invest in real estate, I don't necessarily want to become a landlord. In some cases, I will buy a home, we'll fix the home up if it needs to be fixed up, and we'll rent the home. I would much, much rather buy a single family home, and when I sell that single family home, I would like to sell it with a lease option. Maybe a 13-month lease option to reduce what I have to pay in taxes because I've delayed my closing for a year and a day. I might do a 24-month lease option. I could do a 36-month lease option. The good news is you guys get to set the rules of how you want to do the transactions. Now, if I'm doing a lease option, I'm providing somebody with an opportunity for ownership versus just renting. When I provide somebody with an opportunity for ownership, and when we do a lease option, we will ask that they give us an option consideration payment up front. It's like a down payment. We don't call it a down payment. We call it an option consideration payment. They give us money up front to do the deal. They have an opportunity to own the property. If they have an opportunity to own the property, there's a greater chance they'll take better care of it. And the beauty is when we do lease options versus just renting, we're actually the ones helping stimulate the economy. I think everybody on the call would agree our country's dealing with an economic crisis, and you know there's another economic crisis on the horizon. And we are the ones, it's the entrepreneurs of this world, we're the ones that can save this country economically. And when we do lease options, we're becoming a contribution. We're helping people. We're creating that win-win. So when you see tenant database, I just don't want you to get confused with a renter. There's a difference between a renter and a tenant. I could also sell a property with seller financing. Seller financing is where I actually buy the home and I would sell it to somebody with seller financing. In other words, they wouldn't have to go to a bank and get a loan. They wouldn't have to give a bank a down payment. They would give the down payment to me and they would make their payments to me. I actually become the bank. And a lot of times, 16 years into this business, I get students that ask me almost daily, you know, Coach, what types of deals is it that you do today? You know, what are you most interested in? What types of things do you like to do? And I will tell you, I very simply like to become the bank. Because when I'm the bank, I don't own the bricks and mortar. When I'm the bank, if the toilet breaks, you don't call me. When I'm the bank, I don't own the property, I just own the paper. And it's a lot less work to own the paper than it is the property. Now, as we go through our webinar series, these are all topics of discussions that we will have. You must also build a rehabbers database. You're going to want to build a cash buyers database. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a database of cash buyers, you had a database of investors that actually paid cash for their properties? What if you had that database at your fingertips? Would it make you a more powerful investor? There's many opportunities out there, guys. Today, our country's dealing with a foreclosure crisis. We're dealing with a foreclosure epidemic. We can go out there and we can find properties that are in pre-foreclosure. We can scan those properties for equity. If we find properties in pre-foreclosure that have equity, we can get those properties under contract and then we can assign it to another investor. Now, the investor you assign it to, you would want that investor to be pre-approved. In other words, have their money sources in place. Or would it even be more valuable if you had a list of cash buyers in your market area? If you're in Tampa, Florida, wouldn't it be nice if you had a list of cash buyers that paid cash for properties in Tampa, Florida, or in Denver, Colorado, or in Columbus, Ohio, whatever city that you're in? And those are things that we will discuss on later calls. Now, when you guys signed up for this webinar, when you enrolled in the webinar, we did send you some tools. And the tools that we sent you are to help assist you in your ability to create these databases. And one of the tools that we sent you was a bird dog script. Now, a bird dog script is where you would recruit people to go out and find opportunities for you. You would recruit people to go out and find motivated buyers, go out and find motivated sellers. You might teach somebody how to interview an investor, and they become bird dogs for you. And they become bird dogs for you, they work for you, and if they find you deals, you set what the bird dog fee would be, and of course we pay those people a bird dog fee. There's a script there to create your wholesale database and to create your rehabber database. Now, this is one of the areas where some of my students struggle with the most, creating these databases, creating a database of people that you could wholesale properties to, other investors, creating a database that of people that just buy properties and rehab properties. You know, fortunately for me, I've been in this business for 16 years, and I have a database of 29,000 other investors throughout the United States of America. Having that resource is so valuable to me, being able to reach out to investors all over the country, to actually be able to build my business from my living room, dramatically saves me time. It dramatically reduces the amount of time that I have to work on this business, which frees me up to spend more time with the people in my life that I love and care about. And I'm sure that every one of you on the call tonight would love to have more time. You know, one of the things I tease my students about is that, you know, we've been programmed certain things our entire life that may or may not be true. Well, that's actually not a fair statement, because if you've been programmed something and you believe it to be true, it is true for you. I'll just give you an example of that. Let me give you a phrase and you guys can finish it for me. Time is money. Most people have grown up believing that time is money. And if you truly, truly believe that time is money, when the webinar is over tonight, what I would like you to try and do is Google Father Time and see if you can buy some of your time back. Guys, we can't make more time in this world. We can certainly make more money. And if we made more money, that might free up some of our time. You know, the system was just set up backwards. It was set up for you to get a job and work 40 hours a week and work 40 years and retire and then live off 40% of what you made for those 40 years. The system's just messed up. And for most of us on the call tonight, guys, I will tell you, we just got the wrong roadmap in life. And, you know, you got a roadmap that taught you to go to school, get good grades, get a job, work really, really hard, and the government will take care of you. And I certainly don't want to get into a political conversation tonight with everything that's going on out there. And my question to you would be, do you guys believe the government's going to take care of you in retirement? We have got to take care of our financial futures and the financial futures of our family now. I will tell you guys, when you truly, truly become financially free and you've achieved that certain level of success, you will realize that time is not money. Time is way more valuable than money. And sometimes, you know, we're reminded of how valuable time is when we lose somebody that's very, very close to us in life. I will tell you guys, in my opinion, the two most valuable assets that we have in this world today, the two most valuable assets that we have in this life, is our time and our relationships with others. Now, the reason why most of you believe that time is money is because the only way that you know how to make money is by spending your time. I understand that's what we've been programmed to do. When you're an investor, when you're an entrepreneur, and you truly learn the steps to become financially free, guys, we learn how to make money while we're sleeping. These scripts are designed to help you to build the databases of people so that we can actually go out and find properties, and we never contract to buy a property unless we already have that property sold, assigned, or a tenant to put in it. The next script that you have here is going to be the for sale by owner script. And guys, this is such a valuable opportunity for you to find prospects, for you to find inventory. If we have somebody that's for sale by owner, there's a very, very professional way that we can call and get all the information about that property, learn as much about that property as we possibly can. I can teach you guys the script that's here is a very basic script. When we get into the for sale by owner script and we really dial in on that script and we master that script, guys, I'm gonna show you how we can take that script, we can expand on it. I'll show you how it's evolved over the years. we're going to find out when we call it for sale by owner. During this webinar series, I'm going to teach you guys how to find out the condition of the property. I'm going to teach you how to find out the amenities of the property. I'm going to teach you to find out if there's any work that needs to be done to the property. I'm going to teach you how to find out if there's a mortgage on the property, what the balance is, what the payments are, what the interest rate is, the person's dominant motive for selling the property, and the absolute lowest price the person will take for the property. And I'm going to teach you guys to do that in a 4-minute phone call without making anybody upset. I'm sure you guys would find some value in becoming a master calling for sale by owners. Now, I'll just give you a little preview of the first sale by owner call. When I make this phone call, it's a 4-minute phone call. Of course, we gather very, very valuable information. At the very end of the phone call, and this is something that you guys could start doing right now, every one of you, when you call a for sale by owner, at the very end of that phone call, you should ask them, am I safe to assume that once you sell this house, you'd be buying another home? And if you think about it, guys, most people, 75% of the people that are selling a home are either going to upgrade to a different home, they're moving out of the area, maybe they're going to downgrade to a smaller home because they can't afford the home that they're in. And the beauty of it is if they're purchasing another home, they ought to be purchasing it from you. You can let them know at that point that you're an expert in finding properties at a discount. You could become a part of a network of 29,000 master investors throughout the United States of America, and find out what they're looking for, find out what neighborhoods they're interested in purchasing in, find out what their buying parameters are, find out what their price range is, find out what their payment range is, and you can assist them. Now you're building a buyer's database, not a wholesale buyer's database, you're building a retail buyer's database. You know, I have students that I mentor, that we consult with on a daily basis, and one of the first things that we do is we teach our students to make this for sale by owner phone call. We teach our students to make the motivated seller phone call. And you know, when I'm working with somebody that's motivated, when I'm working with somebody that's for sale by owner, those properties normally aren't listed with a realtor. Now, I love working with realtors. If you're a realtor on the call, I want you to know that I love you. And when I work with motivated sellers, when I work with for sale by owners, I get to control the paper. I get to control the contract. And when I control the paper and I control the contract, guys, and you might want to write this down. Give you a second to get a pen and paper if you don't have one yet. You might want to write this down. Whoever controls the paper, they control the deal. They control the money. They control the outcome. So in most every case, when I'm doing a real estate transaction, if a realtor's not involved in the deal, and 75% of the business that I do, realtors are not involved in those deals. And I'll let you know where the business comes from that I do in just a moment while we're talking about for sale by owners and motivated sellers. And if we're not using the realtor's contract, then whose contract are we going to use? We're going to use my contract. When we use my contract, that gives me control. And I will tell you, I had a mentor tell me one time, and they told me that investing in real estate isn't risky at all. Not being in control of the transaction, that's what's risky. And as we go through the different types of deals and transactions and exit strategies, and you know, we'll set up parameters for every deal that we do. And if we set up 5 parameters that deal must meet, if it only meets 4 out of the 5 and you guys do that deal, then you're not setting yourselves up for failure, you're just setting yourselves up for risk. And the other thing that I do when I'm looking at real estate transactions, and you know, everybody in the room, in the virtual training room tonight, also might want to write this down. And this is a way that you can make sure on every single transaction that you're always safe. Because as a real estate investor, when I enter into a real estate transaction, or as an entrepreneur, when I enter into a business deal of any kind, I always want to make sure that I'm safe. The way that you can always make sure that you're safe is, of course, we never contract to buy a property unless we already have it sold, assigned, or a tenant to put in it. So if I was going to buy a property and I wanted to sell it with seller financing, I first want to have my seller financing database, my tenant buyers database in place. If I were going to contract to purchase a property and I wanted to sell it with a lease option, I would already want to have a database of tenant lease option buyers in place. And when we go over the for sale by owner scripts and we go over the motivated seller scripts and we drill into that for an hour on how to build those databases, guys, I will give you some very, very specific ways that you can fill your database completely full, where you will have an unlimited supply of motivated buyers. You know, we talked briefly about the economy. I don't want to spend too much time there. And, you know, when I talk to people that don't invest in real estate, when I tell people what I do, you can see the look in their eye, and they have a concern that, you know, when I talk to a new student about investing in real estate, that investing in real estate today might be very, very difficult because of the state of our economy. I will tell everybody on the webinar tonight that the state of our economy has made real estate investing for me and for my students easier than it ever has been before. And the state of our economy, guys, is what has created so much opportunity for investors. Now, I do want to be very, very clear, because there is so much opportunity out there, that doesn't mean we will take advantage of people. Our number one goal as investors is to make sure that we always create a win-win situation in every transaction that we do. Now, again, another way to make sure that we're always safe on every transaction, and please write this down: worst case, best case. Worst case, best case. Every real estate transaction that I do, every business deal that I do, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to calculate the worst case scenario. And once I've calculated the worst case scenario, if I can handle the worst case scenario on that deal, I will then calculate the best case scenario. Guys and gals, I just want you to logically think about this. If we're looking at a real estate transaction and you're one of my consulting students and we've analyzed this deal and we've analyzed it and we've calculated the worst case scenario, and you can handle that, and we've calculated the best case scenario, and you like that, then what should you do every single time? You should do the deal. You should just do it. I mean, 3 words, Nike's absolutely brilliant. Just do it. What I see for a lot of investors, guys, is they get locked up in the analysis of the deal. They get locked up. They have paralysis of analysis. They want to analyze and overanalyze and overanalyze, and that all comes from fear, and it all comes from a need of wanting to make sure that you're always safe. Well, when you're when you're overanalyzing that deal, excuse me, when you're analyzing it the second time, the third time, guys and gals, I'm going to tell you it's too late, because somebody like me, somebody like my team, my power team, my master investor students, we're doing that deal. So you've got to have the ability to calculate the worst case scenario, then you calculate the best case scenario, and if you can handle the worst case scenario, guys, and you like the best case scenario, it is now time to dive in with everything that you got and do that deal. We'll pick the pieces up. We know what the pieces are to pick up if you know what the worst case is, you know what the best case is. It's one of the most important pieces of advice that I can give to my students, is that, you know, getting you, if you're a student that's done one deal, then we want to get focused on that second deal. And if you've done your second deal, we want to get focused on the third deal and the fourth deal and the fifth deal. And one of the things that I found out is that getting students, what's going to be the most difficult deal for you to do? Of course, it's that first deal. Now, you get that first deal done, you want to get the second one, you want to get the third one, you want to get the fourth one. The other thing that I've seen is I've seen students that come out of the gate flying, and they do 2 or 3 deals, and then life kicks in and it takes over, and before they know it, they went right back to the life that they had before they started investing. Or they hit hurdles or roadblocks, or I don't know how many times I've had a realtor or another investor or an attorney or a power team member tell me, well, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And when somebody tells me I can't do something, I just tell them that I must do it, just watch me. And when people in the field are telling that you can't do certain things that we know that we can do, that I've done, that my students have done, it's just because you're working with the wrong power team of people. And so I find that students get really fired up about real estate investing. They get out there and maybe get 1 or 2 or 3 deals done, and then before they know it, life kicks back in, and you got busy lives, you got busy schedules, and you got this going on, you got that going on, and before you know it, they're not investing in real estate anymore. So they need to get re-energized. This webinar is designed to help those of you that are in that space get re-energized. Now, the other script that you see on here is the mobile home buyers interview. And in a moment, towards the end of our time here tonight, you're going to have an opportunity to send me an email. And what you're going to pick out of these scripts as a group, the attendees on the call, we've got about 50 people on the call tonight, and out of the 50 people that are on the call, you guys are going to choose which one of these scripts you want to master first. Do you guys want to master the bird dog script first? Do you guys want to master the wholesale rehabber script? Do you want to master the sell by owner, the motivated seller scripts? And guys, I will tell you, the 4 sell by owner and the motivated seller scripts are vitally important scripts. They're all important. And those for sell by owner scripts and those motivated seller scripts, guys, and those scripts, I'm going to set up seller financing for you guys. I'm going to set up win-win situations. I'm going to set up lease options. I'm going to set up opportunities for sandwich lease options. I'll set up opportunities for wrap mortgages for you. I'll set up opportunities for mortgage assumption through trust. Now, some of you that are my students know what all of that language means, and if you're on the call for the first time tonight, or you're brand new to real estate investing, you're a beginner, some of that language and terminology may have went right over your head. And tonight is really more of an informational night than it will be actual education, although a lot of you are learning things right now that you didn't know. And it's just going to be an opportunity for you guys to decide what this webinar series looks like, because I'm doing the business. I've been doing it for 16 years. I got a real good idea, but I know what you guys need, and I'm going to deliver to you what you need. And I also want some direction from you guys as to exactly what it is that you want. And depending on where you're at as an investor, what your level is will determine exactly what it is that you need. There'll be opportunities to have one-on-one consultations with me and my team, Mom, Rhonda, our power team members, some of our most successful investors. And we can really sit down, we can drill in with you where you're at in your investing careers. Are you a starter? Are you in the middle? Are you advanced? My buddy Tony from Denver, Colorado, David from New York. I mean, those guys today, they're focused on multi-unit apartment buildings. And one thing I will share with you about the economy is I don't care what's going on in this country economically. I do care. Let me rephrase that. I do care. I care greatly about what goes on in our country economically. As it relates for me as a real estate investor, I don't care. I don't care if real estate's going up in value. I don't care if real estate's going down in value. I don't care if real estate's going sideways in value. We have the ability to make money in every single real estate market and cycle. The key to success here is, guys, you got to know what cycle you're in today. You got to know what that will create for you in the future. And when the market shifts, when the cycle shifts, you got to be ready to shift with it. So, guys, I know exactly what real estate cycle we're in today. I know exactly how to capitalize on the market that we're in today. Our country's dealing with a foreclosure crisis. We're dealing with a foreclosure epidemic. There's an inventory of homes out there in pre-foreclosure right now, guys. The country is on sale. Now, the next number that I give you might be staggering to some of you. There are approximately 3.5 million homes in pre-foreclosure. Let me back up. That's not a fair statement. There are 3.5 million homes that are not in pre-foreclosure yet, where people have not paid payments for 12 to 24 or 36 months, and the bank has not even started the foreclosure process. So that means there's a whole nother wave of foreclosures coming right behind the properties that are already in the pipeline right now. There's approximately, throughout the United States of America, according to my software as of this morning, about 3 million homes in pre-foreclosure. Now, that does not include the homes that are REO properties, real estate owned by the bank. In other words, an REO property is a piece of property that went into foreclosure. People weren't making their payments. they didn't do what they needed to do to redeem the property or stop the foreclosure. It went to auction. Nobody bought it at auction. Now the bank buys the property back and it becomes an REO property, real estate owned by the bank. Now, if you will talk to most realtors out there, and if you will talk to most lazy investors, I'll call them, they'll tell you that there is a shortage of inventory out there. The shortage of inventory that's out there right now, guys, that shortage of inventory is in REO properties, real estate owned by the bank. The banks in some cases are controlling the inventory. There's 3.5 million homes out there where people have not made payments for 12, 24, or 36 months. They haven't started the foreclosure process yet. So in some cases, the banks are trying to control the inventory that's out there. That could create some different set of problems. And the beauty of it for us as investors is any problems the banks have, any situations that arrive that create more economic unrest, guys, just creates more opportunity for us. There is not a shortage of homes out there for sale, guys. People just don't understand how to find those properties that are in pre-foreclosure before they get to auction. And when I talk to you guys about win-win situations, think about this. If I find a family that's in pre-foreclosure, they're losing their home, and I can get to them before the property gets to auction, and I can stop that foreclosure and I can save their credit, have I done them a service? Now, one of the things that I teach is that when analyzing that transaction, analyzing that deal, if there's enough room in the deal, if there's enough equity in the deal, if there's enough profit in that deal, I can do some revenue sharing with the people that own the home, because I'm not actually dealing with the bank when they're in pre-foreclosure. I'm dealing with the home owners, and I can give them some money for a fresh start. So just think about, which is going to bring me to my next point in just a minute, which is mobile homes. So just think about this. Just think about this. And if I find a family that is in pre-foreclosure and I'm able to stop that foreclosure, save their credit, and give that family some money for a fresh start, guys, that is what this business is all about for me. That is about creating those win-win situations. And the beautiful thing is, as I know a lot of you on this call want to be of contribution, we want to help people. And how many of you want to help people, want to be of contribution, and we get to make some money while we're at it? Hey, sign me up for that program. I signed up 16 years ago. Now, when I'm talking to you guys about real estate cycles, and my mom's right here by my side, and she's just let me know, hey, we see a lot of questions coming across the chat bar, and I assure you, we may not be able to address all of those questions. You'll have my contact information at the end of the webinar, and those questions, we will address them. If we don't get to all of them, you'll be able to send those questions to me directly. So, when I talk to you guys about real estate cycles, that's the cycle that we're in today. Now, we can get those properties in pre-foreclosure and we can assign them to other investors. Well, if you're going to do that, you need to have an investors database. You need to have wholesalers. You need to have rehabbers. We're going to learn how to build those databases during this webinar series. Now, if we get those properties that are in pre-foreclosure, we can get them at a discount. We can help the homeowners out. And I might want to sell that property with a lease option. I might want to sell that property with seller financing. Well, then I've got to have those databases. And, when we talk about I will never contract to buy a property unless I already have it sold, assigned, or a tenant to put in it, it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg. If I find a property out there and let's say I'm negotiating a short sale, and because of my knowledge, my understanding of the process, if I'm auditing that foreclosure file and I find RESPA violations in that file, I have leverage against that bank. I might be able to get that bank to give me that property for 50% of its value. Now, if I'm in a hot real estate market, and we can define what hot spots are during our series, when I'm in a hot real estate market and I get a property at 50% of its value, I'm going to do that deal no matter what every single time. And wouldn't it be nice if you did that deal and you already had a database of rehabbers or wholesalers or potential lease option tenants or seller financing tenants or even people that you might want to rent the property to already there waiting and ready to go? See, guys and gals, that's what allows us to be safe. This business, it's a numbers game, and I'm going to tell you, it's all about database, database, database. And those of you that have been in my 3-day event, one of the things that we hammer all 3 days is database, database, database. Now, when I'm talking to you guys about real estate cycles, how many of you in the virtual training room tonight on the webinar, how many of you want to know what the cycle of the future is? Well, I understand, of course you do. Now, the cycle of the future is going to be apartment buildings, mobile home parks, RV parks, and assisted living facilities. Adult living facilities, assisted living facilities. Now, a lot of times my students will ask me, well, Coach, why is that the cycle of the future? The answer to that is because of the cycle that we're in today. Guys, the number of people that have lost their homes through the process of foreclosure, that will continue to lose their homes over the next 3 to 5 years through the process of foreclosure, is going to create a greater demand for apartment buildings, mobile home parks, and RV parks. And as the baby boomers begin to retire, especially in the retirement states, adult living facilities, assisted living facilities, guys, is going to become a major, major market. It's one of those areas of real estate investing that my team and my family are kind of moving into next. Now, with that said, it brings me up to the 5th script here, which is your mobile home buyers interview. Of the 5 scripts that we sent to you for signing up for this webinar, that mobile home buyers interview script is the one that is the most complete. When I tell you that we sent you these scripts, we sent you guys the basic scripts, and you'll choose which one of these scripts that you guys want to master first, and we will evolve these scripts to the state that you see the mobile home buyers interview at. Now, I will tell you, me, my team, my students, we make these phone calls every single day. And as things change in real estate, we change in real estate. And if you think about real estate cycles, you know, that foreclosure cycle that we're in today, if I've got a family that can no longer afford to make a $2,000 a month payment to own a home, but maybe they can make a $500 a month payment, and they're losing that home in foreclosure, I stop that foreclosure, I save their credit, rather than them living in the street, rather than living on a parent's sofa or a child's basement, I could provide them with a nice mobile home and a mobile home park. I could even show them how to own that mobile home free and clear over a 3-year period of time. And during that 3-year period of time, because we have a credit repair program, we can even show those people how to repair their credit. Now, the mobile home buyers interview, we have an ad when we go over this script that we will run to build our database of mobile home buyers. Guys, when you run the ad that I give you exactly the way that I give you the ad, you're going to need a 5-line phone system, because your phone will ring off of the hook with motivated mobile home buyers. I was teaching a 3-day class in Dallas, Texas, and I taught the mobile home section. And for those of you that are previous students of mine, you should have an advanced training video done by me on mobile homes. If you're on this webinar and you do not have that video, you're going to want to send me a request for that video, and I will email you the link. It's about 45 minutes long. It's the most basic strategy that I teach. It's on mobile homes. The ad will be in there, and it's how you can get out there and start investing with little or no cash at all out of your pocket, and the very, very low risk, and get out there and start making $300 a month in passive income on each mobile home that you do. So if you did 10, that's $3 grand a month. If you did 20, that's $6 grand a month. Guys, I got students that are brand new, zero experience in investing in real estate. They watch my mobile home video. They might want some consulting from me or my team. And in the next 90 days, guys, we've got those students doing 5, 10, 15 mobile homes and mobile home parks. You wouldn't own the land that the mobile home's on. You would just own the mobile home, and your goal is to make $300 a month in passive income on each one. So I think you guys can see that with these 5 scripts that we have here, there's a lot of ground to cover. There's a lot of ground to cover. Now, one of the things that I talked to you guys about was the mobile home strategy, and how to go out there and invest in real estate, not using any of your own money or any of your own cash, not using any of your credit. And guys, an assignment of contract. We don't need money. We don't need credit to do that. You are going to need support financial education. The mobile home strategy that I teach, seller financing, mortgage assumption through trust, wrap mortgages, sandwich lease options. Those are all ways to do real estate transactions, not using any of your money or any of your credit. And as I shared with you guys, I won't sugarcoat any of this stuff for you. Those are sometimes the most difficult transactions to do. They're complex. The mobile home strategy that I teach you guys is not complex. You're not using your money. You're not using your credit. Now, at the end of this webinar, you will be able to send me an email telling me which one of these scripts you guys want to master first, which one of these databases you want to master first. You're going to be able to give me feedback on the webinar. You guys are going to tell me what it is that you want me and my team to teach you. So think about these scripts. You'll get to pick one in a moment. And talking about capital, talking about credit, I do have an incredible opportunity for you guys, and I think the name of this webinar, Mom, was Millionaire Seed Capital Secrets. And guys, I have found an opportunity where you guys could get up to $100,000 in capital for your real estate investment businesses at 0% interest. Now, when I first found out about this opportunity, probably a few weeks ago, one of the things that I always do when I find opportunities out there that I might want to make available to my students, I'm gonna take those opportunities first. I'm gonna do them myself, and I will tell you, I've just went through the process myself of getting $100,000 up to $100,000 at 0% interest. Now, guys, think if you had $100,000 capital sitting in the bank at 0% interest, and you knew exactly what to do with that capital, would that be of a major benefit for you? So the slide that you're looking at right now, investment capital up to $100,000 at 0% interest. Now, I will tell you this. We've created some relationships, and in a moment I'm going to walk you through the process should you choose to. And please understand that if you choose to go through this process, that's a personal choice. And we're going to discuss how you guys could qualify for up to $100,000 at 0% interest. Now, if a financial institution was willing to give you $100,000 at 0% interest, are they going to do that for free? And the answer to that is no. Should you choose to take the $100,000 or whatever amount of money that you're qualified for, there will be a $3,500 fee to do so. Now, if you think about, hey man, if I borrowed $100,000 and I did that at 10% interest over a 5-year period of time, you'd pay approximately $13,000 in interest. So to get $100,000 and have a $3,500 fee to do so, which comes out of your $100,000, by the way, it's no money out of your pocket, for me is an incredible opportunity, because I'm going to take that $100,000 and I'm going to go out there and turn it into $500,000. One thing that an investor, a true entrepreneur, a master investor never says is that it costs too much. One of the things that I will always say is, what is my return on investment? What's my return on investment? So for those of you that are interested in getting $100,000 in capital at 0% interest, let me give you very, very clear directions on what you must do tonight in order to make that happen. Now, although the screen that you see has these directions on it, within the next 30 to 45 minutes, you will receive an email with these directions. And in order to qualify for the $100,000 in capital, up to $100,000, you would want to make sure that you are using Chrome as your browser. So you've got to be using Google. This will not work unless you're using Google, unless you're using Chrome. Now, when you have Google pulled up, don't search on the search bar, okay? In the URL address bar, you're going to type in creditnav.com. Now, when you go to creditnav.com, you are going to have an opportunity to pull all 3 of your credit reports with scores for $1. Now, creditnav.com is a very reputable company. They're a credit monitoring company. I use them. My credit's monitored daily. I can look at my credit scores anytime that I want. And for $1, they'll give you all 3 of your reports with scores. Should you choose to, within 7 days, you can go in and cancel, and you will be charged no additional monies, and you get all 3 of your reports on the spot with scores. Now, if you want Legacy Unleashed, my company, to help you guys qualify for up to 100 grand in capital, you would download those reports to your desktop. Now, when you download them to your desktop, and you want to qualify for the 100 grand, you would email those reports to me as an attachment to OPM, Other People's Money, at GregoryDowning.com. Now, a couple of things that I want to share with you, and a lot of my previous students, you've already been through this process, you've got your money, I love it. I haven't had one complaint at all. Number one, when you send your reports to me, that information is 100% confidential. You've got my word on that. And that information will not be shared with another soul on this planet. As a matter of fact, after the reports are sent to me and we've got you the seed capital, or we've done a consultation with you about your reports, they will be destroyed. I also want you to know that when you send those reports to me, it does not show me your social security number. So the email address that I've created for you, OPM at GregoryDowning.com, Other People's Money at GregoryDowning.com, that is a 100% safe and secure email address. Now, when you send those reports to me, that will allow me to reach out to the financial institutions that I have and see if I can get you qualified for up to 100 grand at 0% interest. Now, there is no credit inquiry here. So that's why you're sending the actual reports to me, so I can send them to the companies to get you qualified, guys. There's absolutely no credit inquiry. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Now, some of you might be saying, well, what are the credit requirements? I really wouldn't be worried about that. I'd pull those reports and send them to me, because if you don't qualify for the $100,000, with your permission after a consultation, and if you are approved for the 100,000 or denied, we'll let you know via email. We'll set up a consultation with you to look at other opportunities or discuss with you if you want to take the 100 grand. And if you don't qualify, I have, with your permission, I would review your report, set up a time that we could actually go over your reports together. Even if you do qualify, guys, I am a master at manipulating credit scores. I can teach you guys how to ratchet your scores up to an 850. So if you send those reports in, whether you get approved or you don't get approved, I'm still going to be able to give you valuable information about your credit files and what's going on with your credit files. And if you're somebody out there that needs credit repair, we've got a credit repair program. We can work with you on that as well. So again, these are the directions. It's purely voluntary. I did an event 3 weeks ago in Denver, Colorado, and we had approximately 60 students in our room, and within a 3-hour period of time, we were able to generate $2 million in capital. Guys, that's pretty powerful. And $100,000 at 0% interest gives you buying power. And if you need help knowing what the investments, what type of investments you should use that capital for, guys, that's what we're here for. We are here to help you. Now, Mom, do you want to pull up some of the questions that that came across on the chat? Or
yeah, I want to.
So, guys, give me just a second. I'm going to see if I can't pull up some of the questions that you guys had. Again, as I shared with you.
So, first of all, Edith wrote in and said that.
Go ahead, read that to me.
Okay. Edith wrote in and said they don't have 4 deals, they got 6.
Okay, so Nicholas and Edith, they're on the webinar, and my mistake, guys. I know you're out there doing deals every day. The front screen said that that you guys had only done 4 deals, and I've just been corrected. You guys have done 6 deals. You guys are superstars, man. Congratulations.
They'll get the mobile home video link in the very next email invitation that invites them to next Tuesday's webinar.
Okay, so we're going to be sending out invitations to next Tuesday's webinar. Of course, you guys are going to pick on that webinar what you want me to teach. I know this has been a lot of me talking. I know it's been informational. I'm just trying to set the series for this webinar series. And guys, if you got power team members out there, if you got friends out there, you got family out there, you need to get them on this webinar, because we'll get them all on the same page. Now, when we send you the invitation to next Tuesday webinar, I'm going to go ahead and provide the mobile home link in that email so that every one of you has access to my advanced training mobile home video. And guys, I'm telling you, that 45-minute video will make you an extra $60,000 a year if you just implement what it says in the next 90 days. And some of you also might want some help with that as well. We're here to support you.
Next thing is, I know you mentioned it, but tell them again, I'm going to email them these directions at 8 o'clock tonight. They'll have it in their mailbox.
So 8 o'clock Eastern time, so it's 7:53 now, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the directions for seed capital are going to come to your inbox. So watch your inbox, guys, and the directions to get the capital at 100%, I mean at 100 grand at 0% will come to you. Again, they're on the screen. You must use Google Chrome. Don't use the search window. You go to the UL address bar, put in creditnav.com. For $1, you can pull all 3 of your reports with scores. If you like the monitoring program, keep the account open. If you go in with 7 days, you can cancel that account. You've got all 3 of your reports with scores. You can download those to your desktop. You email them to me at opm@gregorydowning.com, and by noon tomorrow, listen to me, maybe we'll put a little pressure on my power team. By 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, I will know if you've qualified for 100 grand at 0%. And when I know, I'm going to send you an email to confirm that you were qualified, what amount of money you were qualified for, and set up a phone consultation for you, because I want to be very, very clear. Guys, sending me the reports and me getting you pre-qualified is in no way you agreeing that you're going to take the money. There will obviously be a contract that you would have to sign to take the money, that you can go over all the terms and conditions. And again, I've got multiple students that have done this. I've done it myself, and I'm willing to consult with you. And we're not going to use that money. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. I'm not going to use that money unless I'm using it for something that makes me money.
And we're not getting anything for helping them get this.
This is something I found special for you guys.
All right, so the other thing, some of you have said that you didn't see the scripts that we need of the 5 scripts we talked about before. So if you'll go to the Gregory Downing website.
Okay, so if you didn't get the 5 scripts, you can go to the GregoryDowning.com website.
In the top right-hand corner, click on the big cat.
On the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a picture of a big cat. You click on that big cat, follow the prompts, and you'll get those scripts. You'll get those scripts.
The other thing, people have typed what they want to learn already. And
okay.
Have questions about how do they find people in the database. So I think you're going to be covering that as you go to, you'll be answering those questions as we cover each script, like how to find the buyers, how to find the foreclosures.
Yeah, so, and these guys, so what you see on the screen right now is Greg at GregoryDowning.com. And Mom's just shared with me a lot of the questions that came in were, how do I find the pre-foreclosures? How do I find the buyers? How do I find the motivated sellers? And guys, all those questions, you send them to me at greg@gregorydowning.com, and at greg@gregorydowning.com, guys, you're also going to want to let me know which one of the 5 scripts, what do you want to focus on first? You want to focus on the wholesalers database? You guys want to focus on the motivated buyers database, motivated sellers database? You want to focus on the mobile home buyers? You guys tell me what you want to focus on, and by whatever you guys vote for, that's what I'm going to teach you guys. Okay?
Is the 100K 0% interest?
Yeah, so the $100,000, guys, it's $100,000 at 0% interest, period. The time frame for the 0% is going to be between 12 and 18 months. And if you've got specific questions, send them to me at greg@gregorydowning.com. I'm happy to do a consultation with you about it. And very simply, if you'll just download your reports, send them to me, I'll know by 9 a.m. if you're qualified and what amount you're qualified for. Then I can really do a phone consultation with you, say, hey, this is what we've got, here's exactly how it works, and you get to make the decision of whether it's the right thing for you to do or not. I just want to close with a couple of things. We do have a potential to results consulting program. It's for brand new students. It's for students that have been in the system for years and years and years and just aren't quite to where they want to be at. It's for experienced investors that want to go to the next level. And what we do is we work with you for a 90-day period of time. And if you need longer, we work with you longer. And we guarantee okay, that we will walk you through your next deal. If it's your first deal, we guarantee we're going to walk you through your first deal. We're going to hold your hand till you get that next deal done, whatever that next deal is. Now, if you're brand new and you've never invested in real estate before, and I do a consultation with you and you tell me you want to start with apartment buildings, guess what? You're not the guy for me, okay? We're going to start you within the ability that you have. And what I see so often is people going out and trying to do things that they're not ready to do yet. If you're brand new, I'm going to start you with some tax liens. I'm going to start you with some mobile homes. I might start you with the tax deed. I'm going to start you with something simple so that we can get the deal done. You can get some money in your pocket. You can see what it feels like. And let's build some confidence, because this business is a numbers game and it is all about your confidence. I know that Nicholas and Edith that are on the line, they were at my previous event in Denver, Colorado, and during the event, they had purchased a mobile home for $1,000. They put $1,000 in it to fix it up. They did this under the guidance of one of our mentors, and they had sold that mobile home as a quick flip during my event. They weren't even at home. They live in Chicago, by the way, and they made approximately $6,000. Guys, I mean, I just saw the confidence in them grow immediately, just knowing that, you know, they'd accomplished that one more deal, Other reasons why you guys might want to contact me. Webinar feedback and suggestions, greg@gregorydowning.com. Which scripts do you guys want to master first? You guys let me know what you want to do, and that's what I'm going to deliver on these webinars. Questions you have about real estate transactions. You got questions, guys? You got basic questions in an email, I can answer those for you. If you want to set up an opportunity for a 30-minute consultation to see if our potential results program is right for you, we can do that as well. Let's say that you send your credit reports to opm@gregorydowning.com and you don't get qualified for the 100 grand. Guys, I'm happy to do a free consultation with you about your reports, just to talk about what's there and what are the things that you can do to increase your credit score. Let's say that you're a 720 and you want to go to an 850. I can get you there. And what's on your mind? What's the next steps for you guys? And you guys, our family is here for you. We're very, very blessed to have the life that we have today and the opportunity to go out and do what we do. And it's an honor to have been a wealth building coach for a lot of you out there. And we're just here to give you as much support as we possibly can. And we look forward to talking to you in the future. I look forward to talking to you guys next Tuesday night. And I want to see some of those reports coming over tonight, because I'm excited to get 100 grand into your guys' hands at 0% interest. So make sure that you guys look for the next invite to Tuesday's seminar. If you didn't get the scripts, go to gregorydowning.com, click on the big cat, and if you want a private consultation with me for 30 minutes to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about in your real estate investment career, if you want to talk about our consulting program, if you want a 30-minute private consultation with me, Coach Gregory, you can request that consultation at greg@gregorydowning.com. So please send me all those questions, guys, and I'll make sure that they get answered, and we'll know exactly what our next topic will be, and we can really drill down to some specifics. I appreciate every one of you guys. God bless you, and good night.